Ghost hunts characteristically take place at night. Nighttime is the right time for ghosts.
Well, we do it at night, because the theory is between the dead time. In between 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock, that is like the dead time. And that's where most of the activity usually generates. I mean, they're out during the daytime, too.
But if you're undertaking a ghost hunt, you can't wait until dark to start setting up the myriad of monitors and putting out the battery of batteries, and to untangle cables and set up cameras and check out all of the other equipment that modern ghost hunters have at their disposal.
His power supply was dead, so we just switched out power supplies to his.
That is a mid-afternoon assignment at the latest, and a walkthrough of the haunted property in the daylight is a must. This particular house was lived in by an elderly lady who died of quite ordinary causes, and the home was never lived in again, left completely furnished until it was leased out for the filming of a movie, at which time the more valuable pieces were removed to a warehouse and only odds and ends were left behind in the home. But still, there's signs of life everywhere. Old film negatives and reels of home movies caught my attention, being a photographer at heart. They're just thrown across the floor, obviously by trespassers who slipped through the boarded up and locked up doors to sightsee and perhaps search for valuables that may have been overlooked, either oblivious of the rumors of the hauntings or chancing they'd not run into any of the otherworldly inhabitants. But I was told that even when they were here filming the movie, there were instances of doors slamming on their own, and even a hammer was reported to have flown across the room under its own power. So today, several ghost hunters, all under the banner of the Delta Paranormal Group, are here to investigate the house, to determine as best as they can if the place is really haunted or not. And to do that, they've invested thousands of dollars in equipment and have already spent countless hours of time in other haunted houses gaining experience and collecting data. Curiosity about life after death is another of the elements that separates us from the animals. Of all creatures, only humans ponder their own mortality. And since time immemorial, we've wondered whether ghosts really exist, and have tried to find them, or avoid them, as we could. And to say you don't believe, at least in the possibility, is an attempt to deceive yourself about your own inner feelings. For who hasn't had to steel themselves to keep from dashing out of a darkened room, or been too afraid to turn and look and see for sure that there was nothing behind following them on a dark path at night? These paranormal seekers come to their hobby from various mindsets, some out of curiosity after seeing ghost hunts on TV. And some of these ghost seekers just like the thrill of the expedition and the company of the others along, as do many other hunters. But for whatever reason, as night begins to fall and shadows begin to fill the house, and the last flecks of the sun lick at the window panes, and there's more dark than light inside now, the group of hunters pauses for a ritual they perform before every hunt, a prayer for protection from the unknown, just in case they are trespassing where they should fear to tread. Then the hunt begins. The group divides into teams and they enter the house with just the barest of lights to get them from room to room. Then they stop and start their observations. Temperature readings, magnetic readings, attempts to make contact, and attempts to get EVPs, that is, electronic voice phenomenon, where questions are asked while a digital device is recording audio.
Give us your name.
And oftentimes, responses are recorded when nothing was heard by the ear at the time. And while the session is going on inside, on the porch outside, the observations are taking place. Monitors from all the carefully selected camera angles are being watched for any movement. The stairs was chosen because steps have been heard on them. The camera hopes to see something. And the room on monitor 4 is chosen because the last time this house was evaluated, both of these doors slammed on their own. The night wears on, from late evening to early morning hours to the sweet spot, the time of night when ghosts come out, dead time. Now that's when I went back in on another investigation series, and this time kept the camera light on so we could see what was going on. And upstairs, in the room where the doors had slammed on the previous hunt in this house just a few weeks earlier, a noise was heard, and I quickly realized the difference between me and professional ghost hunters, because when they heard the noise in this room, they went in there. Had I been in charge and heard the noises in the room, I would have been out of the house. It turns out that another door had closed on its own, this one leading to a bathroom, and it not only closed, it continued to rock on its hinges while we were standing there watching it and asking it to swing wider, and it did. And soon I realized evidently nothing was going to hurt me, and the novelty of the door swinging grew old, and the ghost hunters went to another room. But the door swinging was enough to give the group incentive, like saying amen to a preacher or sick 'em to a bulldog. And then all of a sudden, the time changed from being very late in the hunt to the hunt just beginning.
And the rest of the night, we're just gonna keep on going until sunlight.
Now, at that point, I left the ghost hunters. They were still looking for more evidence, but I'd gotten what I came for: the chance to go on a ghost hunt and see something, and then walk away.